large frame glasses. They're the book with a mind like molasses. Giants and goblins from his fingertips spurt, trekking through stars with an old geek spurt. Up in the attic by the glowing screen, cultures clash like you've never seen. Post-apocalyptic visions clash, tales of terror in a lightning flash. Up in the attic by the glowing screen, cultures clash like you've never seen. Post-apocalyptic visions clash, tales of terror in a lightning flash. That old Yorkshire geek with stories to unfold. Keep your eyes wide open and your soul won't grow cold. In the realm of the strange and the fantastical, lost in the dark but it's a light so magical. Whispers of Lovecraft in the dead of night. Spaceships, sorcery, shadow fright. Dungeons deep and castles grand. Tales of might from this England land. That old Yorkshire geek with stories to unfold. Keep your eyes wide open and your soul won't grow cold. In the realm of the strange and the fantastical, lost in the dark but it's a light so magical. Magical. Cthulhu breathes while dragons flame. Hearts of heroes in the Hall of Fame. Flee or fight the monsters we dread, but the winds of wonder in his stories are spread. But it's a light so magical. Magical. Cthulhu breathes while dragons flame. Hearts of heroes in the Hall of Fame. Flee or fight the monsters we dread. The winds of wonder in the stories are spread.
And then it ends. Crikey. Hey up, it's Stephen, the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to episode 91 of Magnificent Mondays. And this week, we're having a look at the Wild Geese from 1978 with an all-star cast. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Now then, let's make sure we're live everywhere. We're live on YouTube, yeah. We're live on Rumble, yeah, for once. And we're live on Twitch. Don't know why I keep doing Twitch, but yes, we're live on there as well. Right, and also, where's my finger? There it is. Explore the description for links for stuff such as, I'm sitting on it, merch. There saw that. Ooh, you saw this in the intro video, this design, didn't you? Merch, me books. There they are. Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. And other stuff. My music channel, my other websites, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. Super chats and super thanks are greatly appreciated. Become a member of the YouTube channel, and then you get early access videos and exclusive videos and stuff like that. Oh, pardon me. Join us in the live chat if you've been a subscriber. You don't have to be a member. If you've been a subscriber for a while, you can join in the live chat as well. I've got to do it like that because of idiots. Right, so the Wild Geese, that's what we're up to. We're up to the Wild Geese from 1978, directed by Andrew V. McLaglen, who before this were more famous for like westerns and stuff. I thought I'd seen his name on another film, a more modern film, but I haven't because I looked up his filmography, so maybe I've just seen a similar name somewhere, I don't know. But he did this, and then the year after he did North Sea Hijack, again with Roger Moore. Based on the novel by Daniel Carney, and on the audio commentary, which I only listened to part of because it was super boring on here. But the interesting bit on it was the making of the film got the book published because the producer, Ewan Lloyd, bought the rights to the book. He knew about the book. He got the manuscript for the book before it was published because it kept getting rejected by publishers, and he got the rights to the film rights, and that got the book published, and it went on to become a bestseller and all that stuff. But that was interesting. Where were we? All right, stars Richard Burton, Sir Roger Moore, Richard Harris, Hardy Kruger, Stuart Granger, Frank Finlay in a brief but memorable role, Barry Foster, and loads of others. Who else is in it? Jack Watson as the Sergeant Major is a standout. Who did the music? Roy Budd did the music. The only other thing I remember him from, I think he did the music for Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. Let me check. See what else he's done. He did Get Carter. I've never seen Get Carter, you know, the Michael Caine film. I've never got round to watching that. Anyway, right, filmography. Yes, he did Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. He did lots of stuff, actually, that I didn't know about. And maybe some stuff I've actually seen. But that's Zeppelin and stuff. And the Sea... Oh, Who Dares Wins, he did the music for that as well, which is a good film. Which I don't think I've got on what they call it? Physical media. I'm trying to think of the name then. But anyway, so there we go. Roy Budd. For some reason, I always think of the Wombles, but I know that was Mike Batt, wasn't it? The Wombles. But anyway, we're edited by John Glenn. There is kind of a little bit of a James Bond feel to it. We've got Roger Moore in it. We've got John Glenn doing the editing, and we're also the second unit director. John Glenn directed all of the 80s James Bond films from... I forgot the bloody name of it. Did all of the 80s Bond films. I blanked. What else? Maurice Binder did the opening titles. So there's a bit of a James Bond selection there. And what else? It had a budget of, what shall we say? We'll say $12 million. It says its worldwide box office were only just under 10, so I suppose technically it lost money. But it's become kind of a classic film. It is kind of controversial because it was filmed in South Africa during the height of apartheid, and it does have some. It's not particularly politically correct. Is the script? Lots of naughty words that we can't really say these days. But anywho, but there is a reason for it. You know, because of South Africa. There's a man playing a South African in it. Hardy Kruger, who's actually German, plays a South African chap, a white South African. So he uses that K word. It's like the South African N word. He uses that a lot. But there is a reason for it, because he ends up kind of We'll get to it. We'll get to it. I won't. I won't spoil it. I will be spoiling the film, by the way, as we go through it in great detail. This is just a review. Some people keep saying, "Why don't you play the full film?" Because YouTube will go mental. But you can watch it on YouTube. It is on YouTube. Don't know for how long, but link is in the description for all that stuff. Right. So, shall we get on with it? Yeah, let's get on with it. As I said, we're not just watching the film, we go through it in a series of stills. I try and remember the information I've gleaned about it, and we'll go through it. And it's a really, really good film. It's a good action, boys' own adventure with a great cast who didn't really have much faith in the film. They all thought it was a silly film, and some of them, I think up until the day they died, so a lot of them have passed away now, didn't have kind thoughts about the film, particularly Hardy Kruger. But anyway. Right, so I shall put myself down in the corner, and we will get on with it, shall we? I forgot what I'm doing. I'm all a dither. Again, as usual, there I go. Here it comes, there it is. Right, so here we go. Right, we're off. We're off and running. Here's the opening titles. They're very James Bondy because they're by Maurice Binder, or as my American friends would say, Maurice Binder. But Ewan Lloyd's production of The Wild Geese, as I said, based on the book. The Wild Geese, I've got this from IMDb trivia. I don't know if it's true or not. Were 17th century Irish mercenaries that called themselves the Wild Geese. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what they named the book after. And there's Africa. There's Africa. Apparently, Ewan Lloyd. There is a documentary on the there's the special features on the DVD. I don't have it on Blu-ray. About Ewan Lloyd being a gentleman producer. He's one of these film producers who always wore a suit and tie and all that, on set and all that, and they were all very nice and posh and all that stuff. But anyway, there we go. Richard Burton, the mighty Richard Burton, Sir Roger Moore, in the height of his James Bond run, and Richard Harris, who was Dumbledore briefly, wasn't he? For 2 films. It was Dumbledore for 2 films in the Harry Potter films. Come on, where's Hardy Kruger? Richard Harris. Hardy Kruger, there he is. And I didn't know he was German. I always thought he was South African. Named Kruger, like Krugerrand and all that, but he's German. And he actually fought in the Second World War against American troops because he got drafted into the military in 1945. Anywho, also starring Jeff Corey. You know his face when you see him. He's been in loads of stuff. He gets a higher billing than Frank Finlay, who's amazing in this film. He plays an Irish priest in this film. He's amazing. Barry Foster, you may know from films like Frenzy. I can't think of anything else. Ronald Fraser, who's been in a lot of British movies. Kenneth Griffith and John Carney, along with, I hope his name pops up next. Yes, along with Winston I'm going to mispronounce this. Nutshona. I'm probably mispronouncing that. They're South African actors. As I said, the film was filmed a lot in South Africa. Not all of it, but a lot of it was filmed in South Africa. As I said, controversial at the time. Because at that time, if you did anything with South Africa because of the apartheid government, it was controversial. Queen played in South Africa, didn't they, sometime in the 80s, didn't they? Early 80s, I think. And that was controversial. Played like Sun City. And that's cricket teams always used to go over and get into trouble for playing in South Africa. But anyway, one of the things that the South African government wanted the production to do, because apparently they were generous with the production, and they said, but the spokesman for the South African government said to Ewan Lloyd, but we'd like just to do just one thing, and he thought, here we go, it's going to be something horrible. He said, no, we just want you to hire some black South African actors, which they did. I don't think there's any white South African actors in this. So Winston Nchona and John Carney are both black South African actors. There we go. And there's Jack Watson, who's you'll know. Right, anyway. Patrick Allen, he briefly appears in it as well. Paul Spurrier, he plays the kid. He does my nutting in this film. Frightfully posh child called Emil, Richard Harris's son. Does my head in. And apparently he makes like low budget horror films these days. But anyway. And Stuart Granger as Matheson, that is kind of the main baddie. I know you can't see him, he's behind me, but he's the main baddie. Great part, real, slimy villain, really good. Doesn't get his hands dirty. Right, anyway. By the way, and the music, the theme song. The theme song is sung by Joan Armatrading. I have no idea why. I'm sure I'm not a Joan Armatrading fan. I know she's got a distinctive voice and all that, but I think. Okay, I'm just going to say it. I think it's bloody horrible. And people say, "Oh, she's a genius." Fair enough and all that, but I don't like her voice. I'm sorry, but I will play it a little bit. I've got to be careful.
Just stops and disappears. Time is running out.
I picked the best bit, didn't I? There's some parts of it where she's like going, "Ah!" and all that, and it's all bloody awful. Can they get somebody else to sing it? You'd have thought so. But anyway, right, let's get through this. There we go. Flight of the Wild Geese, written and performed by Joan Armatrading. So it is a good song. I just wish she'd got somebody else to sing it. But anyway, I'm sure everybody disagrees with me about that. Music by Roy Budd, directed by Andrew V. McLaglen. I thought I'd seen him on like one of the Rambo films or something like that. Obviously not, because I checked. Right, here we go. Here we are at London. British Airways, Concorde. Remember them? I think he's come from America. Here he is. We're going to get introduced to Richard Burton's character. I presume this is supposed to be Heathrow. I don't know if it actually is. I've never actually been to Heathrow. I don't think it'll look like that these days, will it? It looks like some hotel lobby. It doesn't look like an airport, does it? But anyway. Sorry, I've got an itch. I've got an itch on my foot. There he is, Richard Burton, boozing. Apparently he didn't drink during the making of this film, because we know Richard Burton's famous for his, his like of a tipple. But apparently he just had soft drinks during the making of the film, so bless him. Remember when rabies were a problem in the UK back in the 70s and early 80s? We were all going to catch rabies. Then as soon as they opened the Channel Tunnel, nobody cared about rabies anymore. When it was easier than ever for, rabid rats or whatever to get to the British shores, nobody gave a monkeys about rabies anymore. I'm sure it's still a thing, but anyway. Anyway, so here he is. He plays Colonel Alan Faulkner, who is a mercenary. By the way, it's a film about mercenaries, by the way. And here he's been met by a chap. Don't know his name, but here is great lines from Richard Burton in this, delivered in that inimitable Burton style. Could we move rather rapidly along? So anyway, off they go, driving through that London in a Rolls Royce, which is cool. And they pull up at a fancy house. In he goes. There's Barry Foster. He plays Balfour. The character's called Balfour, who's the middleman between Faulkner and what's his face? Stuart Granger's Matheson. So here he is. They're all getting introduced. Here we're going to meet Stuart Granger, who is a banker. And he wants to hire Faulkner for a job. Apparently, he just sent an unsigned cheque for $2,000 and a first class ticket on Concorde and that to London. So it gets him to sign the cheque and all that. But he's got a job for him. He wants him to go to Africa and free President Limbani, or former President Limbani of the country of Zambala. There's all these like made up. Well, I think Zambala, this made up country that's surrounded by real countries that they keep talking about, but they're going to a made up country where Limbani was the president, but he was deposed in a coup. There's like this tyrant in charge now, and that he told the people of that country that Limbani were killed, but it turned out he wasn't killed. He were being held in Uganda of all places. Now, Ndofo is the baddie leader. We never see. I don't think we do. He wants him back because rumours have started spreading that he's alive. Limbani's alive, so he wants him back so he can kill him, and so he won't be a threat to him. And so anyway, so Falconer has got to go and free him from his captors. So that's what all this meeting's about. Some of it's very dry. It's been called boring as this film. There is a lot of talking in it, but then the action starts and it is amazing. But anyway, so he was seeing Limbani getting kidnapped on a plane. This poor fella here gets stabbed. There we go. And then another frightfully posh chap who kind of reminds me of, I don't know, an old version of Darren McGavin a little bit. But he's got a frightfully posh English accent, you know, and he's all, as though he's like military or something like that.
Sorry to interrupt your nap. We're going to divert the plane.
We're going to divert the plane. Sit back and just be quiet, old boy. So there they go. That was 2 years earlier, by the way, and everybody thought he was killed and all that stuff. So that was a flashback. Anyway, there we go. General Ndofo, the most corrupt dictator in Africa. Anyway, so he's got to go and get him. So that's what he's being hired to do. And says, "Oh, you want to talk about your fees and expenses?" He says, "No, I will open an account and you will be given a bill, and I get paid what I want." I said, "Oh, fair enough." And Justin 34's here saying, "Hello, everyone." Windgrace is in the chat as well, by the way. He did comment saying, "Where's this Hall of Fame? I want to visit it." Because in the song, the opening song, it mentions the Hall of Fame or something, doesn't it? It's under construction. Anywho, right, there we go. "I don't discuss fees, I get what I want." That's not him saying that, that's Richard Burton saying it. Barry Foster, by the way, where is he? There he is. Played the baddie in Frenzy. If you've seen Frenzy, one of Alfred Hitchcock's later films, I think it was his second to last film, I think, or third to last or something. A really good film, but very, I don't know, it's not like his older films, it's very modern for the 70s. But he plays the baddie in that. Lovely, like strangling women with his tie. Lovely. Says that like that. It's a good film, his friend, is it? Anywho, right, so they're taking Faulkner to his... Some great names in this film, by the way, the characters. We've got Alan Faulkner. We're going to meet Rafer Janders, as they pronounce it in the film. Rafer Janders. I thought they said jaundice at first. I thought, is he yellow? You know, he's going to be all yellow because his kidneys aren't working properly. Sorry, my foot's still itching. What's up with me? Diabetes kicking in. I had to take it off. Anyway, taking him to this a grubby hotel. Says, you know, you're too high profile to put you in a 4-star hotel or 5-star hotel or whatever he says. But anyway, he gives him an envelope with stuff that he needs, passport, driving licence, etc. And he gives him some stuff to do. I want a plan of the compound where they're keeping Limbani, a scale model of the camp and all that, and then he wants him to find some people, find Rafer Janders, and Sean Finn. Says, if you don't find them, the deal's off. That's what he says. So there we go. I know the name Sean Finn. He might be trouble, but anyway. Right, so we're going to meet Sean Finn now. This is Sir Roger Moore driving past Tower Bridge. So here he is in a white second time we've seen a Jaguar XJS in over the weekend, didn't we? We saw one on a red one, didn't we? Simon McCorkindale drove one in my Friday Night Port with Fear in Hammer House of Horror. Visitor from the Grave episode, wasn't it? Anyway, here he is driving a white Jaguar XJS. I think it is anyway. Is it? Actually, I'm not actually sure. I don't think it is actually. Is it? I don't know now. That might not be actually. I don't know what it is. I don't think it is it? No, it isn't a Jaguar XJS. It looks a little bit like one, but no, I don't think it is. I think it's something else. I don't know what it is. Another one with a tax disc in the middle. Put it there. Notice he's driving on the proper side, on the right hand side of the car. But anyway, so in he goes. There's a party going on. We learn he's kind of been a dog's body for the son of some gangster. Here he goes. And it's come here and there's a party. He says he's got a problem. We're going to meet. Speaking of Hammer House of Horror, we're going to meet somebody from Hammer House of Horror in a minute. Here she comes. Any second now. Hang on, have I missed her? Come back again. There she is. Hang on. Oh, for Pete's sake. It's Susan. There she is. Suzanne Danielle. Remember her? She was in the Carpathian Eagle in Hammer House of Horror a couple of weeks ago. So there she is. May know her from Flash Gordon, 1980, and other things. But anyway, so it's going to go in. She doesn't have any lines, but I did notice her. And speaking of James Bond, Roger Moore, we also see Valerie Leon a bit later. She's been in 2 James Bond films. Spy Who Loved Me, Never Say Never Again. Anyway, right, he's the what's his face? The son of the gangster. It's called Sonny. He says, what does he want? And he says he's got troubles. Anyway, it turns out it sent him out to deliver something. It turns out it were drugs, it were heroin. He thought it were money. And he says, I don't deal in drugs. So basically what he's going to do now, he's going to make them two eat the drugs. There we go, he's pulled the gun on them. Says, eat it all. So they get down on the knees. All right, this fella goes for his gun. So there we go. So James Bond shoots him in the head. So he's dead. Says, you've got to eat it all now, Sonny. So he makes him eat it all. So it'd kill him anyway, wouldn't it? You'd think, that heroin. And he goes, pour it in, he says. And he says, you better call for a stomach pump because I've laced it with strychnine. So apparently he dies. We don't see it, but apparently he does. Right, so next up. We're at the home of Rafer Janders, played by Richard Harris, and there's his son Emil, who's astonishingly annoying, but it's because he's posh. But I hate posh kids. And we learned that they're going to go on holiday to Switzerland over Christmas. It's frightfully posh because he goes to a boarding school and all that. So it's just it does me head in. It's just like, oh, golly, jeepers.
January the 9th. Come on, Dad.
Now, isn't that a fantastic...
Hang on, where are we? Here we go. It's got to get the line. I don't know what to do. Come on, where are you?
Boy, that is fantastic.
Yes, it is.
I'm so excited. I don't know what to do. There we go. Hang on. There we go.
I'm so excited I don't know what to do.
Because that's me ending. I'm so excited I don't know what to do. And you could try screaming. And they go, hello. Anyway, so they're going to go on holiday over Christmas. He's a single dad, by the way. His mother, Emil's mother, is a French woman living in Paris or something. She left. And he's left him to raise the kid. Know how he feels. But anyway, here comes Alan. They haven't seen each other for 10 years, so they're all friends and stuff. And they've all been, hello, sir. Good evening, sir. Nice to meet you, sir. So, anyway, right, go on, sod off. Splendid child. Oh, pardon me. Anyway, right, so he's here to offer Rafer a job, on this thing. Apparently he's a really good planner. Is Rafer Janders. And Quest is here, my favourite Richard Burton movie. It is a pretty good one, I must admit. It's up there. I think I might put Medusa Touch slightly above it, maybe. Anyway. Apparently he's a really good planner, so he wants him to plan the operation. And he says, no, I can't do it because, I'm too old for this and you are as well. And I'm not going on holiday with my son. We're off skiing in Switzerland over Christmas, blah, blah, blah. So, no, sod off. I'm not doing it. So he says, okay, then. Can you just tell me how to do that, how to get into this camp, how to get in and out? So, anyway, so he says, fair enough. Anyway, so they have this little chat about this and that. I talk about Limbani being the best there is. You know, he's not one of these corrupt leaders. He's, you know, it get him back in power. It'd be amazing and all that. But anyway, because we learned that Rafe is, you know, a bit of an idealist. Alan will just work for anybody that'll pay him. Rafe will just work for the good guys. Justin says, Richard is such a great actor. Burton also. Yes, there's some great actors in this film. And apparently, in his scenes with Richard Burton and Richard Harris, Roger Moore asked for some of his lines to be taken out. He didn't want as many lines when they were on screen with him, which is almost unheard of, isn't it? They always want more lines, don't they? But he said, you know, saying these two actors are so amazing and great. What have I got to, you know, contribute? But anyway, right there. Show me how you'd get in and out of this place. So he's got him now. He's intrigued him now. So I've got Rafe Janders. So anyway, but he ain't got Sean Finn yet, because apparently now the local mafia's put a contract out on him, so there's hitmen out after Sean Finn. So they're saying, get it cancelled, it's impossible, you know. It says, no, it didn't. Matheson can do anything, sort it out. So, okay then. Anyway, so he's going to go and save Sean Finn, is Alan and Rafe. Here they are, lots of driving about in taxis. I suppose it is London. They've been driving about looking at all Sean's other addresses, and they've all got bad guys waiting outside. Quest says, we don't see actors like the oldies these days. No, there's not many now. Not many great old actors. Well, there is, but they're all old. But anyway, we're not seeing any like young actors. You can't imagine any of the young actors today growing up and being like Richard Harris and Richard Burton and Peter O'Toole and all these sort of actors who were always drunk, weren't they? Oliver Reed. They always liked to drink, didn't they? Anyway, you're right, Quest. Yeah, there's a few. All but gone. Yeah. Anyway, right. So they're going to this club. There we go, the Baronet Club on Denby Road. Off they go. Here they are, arriving. They're pretending to be drunken carousers at this casino. So here they go. And so where we're going to meet Valerie. There she is. There's Valerie Leon, the lovely Valerie. I've met her. Got a photo with her. Probably shown you it before, probably. But yes, she's very nice. She was in Spy Who Loved Me, wasn't she? And Never Say Never Again. She was also in that Hammer film, Blood from the Mummy's Tomb. Never wanted to be a banana more in my life. If you know, you know. But anyway. Right, so, but she's not. They're looking for Heather. Unfortunately, she's not Heather. That's Heather, played by Rosalind somebody or other. She's got one of them faces. I've seen her in stuff, but I don't know what. Probably TV things, I imagine. Where is she? Rosalind Lloyd. I wonder if she's related to Ewan Lloyd. Don't know. Quest says, it's not about the art anymore, it's all about the paycheck. In modern acting, I imagine so. Wingray says, Timothy Chalamet's and die in their 60s. You never know, they might mature. If you don't drink like a fish or smoke like a chimney, you're not an actor. That's what it was like in the old days, wasn't it? Anyway. Right, so there we go. They're going to talk to Heather, and there they are. If you don't be, I like this scene.
Look, Heather, honey. If you don't behave, you'll have to leave.
Oh dear. Anyway, so they say, we need your help. We're looking for Sean Finn. Don't know who that is, she says. Says, no, really, if he's here, get a message to him, tell him that Alan Faulkner and Rafer Janders are here, describe us, and he'll know who it is. But she goes, I believe you, he's upstairs, first door on the left. So off they go to go and save Sean. There he is. I've got a hair in my mouth. Or is it a rabbit? Don't know. There they are. They just call him names like clown and idiot and maniac and what you got yourself into. Anyway, so the bad guys have arrived. And apparently they're downstairs now beating up Heather, apparently. But while all that's going on, Matheson is meeting up with the local mafia boss, who doesn't have a Rolls Royce. He's got I don't know, is that a Bentley? I don't know. But there we go. Played by Jeff Corey. There he is. It says, get the contract lifted on Sean Finn. He said, oh, it was my brother's son. He was an idiot. He'll get over it. Anyway, so Matheson threatens him, basically. And so he gets the contract lifted. Just in time, but not before Rafer uses a hand grenade. The bad guys come upstairs, kick in the wrong door. Well, they shoot it first. It was the wrong room, so he just, I don't know. This door's like made of nothing, and you can see that the big crack there where he's going to put his hand through it. Look, the wrong room. Not a very good door, is it? So there you go, chucks the grenade out, blows it up, and all the bad guys, the ones that aren't dead, come out. The contract's lifted. Oh, wow, one of these bad guys. Now then, do we see him? It's him. Is that Jim Broadbent? Don't get a good look at him. I think it is. Is he listed? I didn't check. I noticed him earlier on. See if I see his name on thingamabob. IMDb. Can't see it. Because he used to play heavies and stuff. I think it's Jim Broadbent I'm thinking of. Can't see his name here. Might not be him. It does look like him to me though. But that's the only shot you get of him. No, it's not showing him. It's not showing him. No. Suzanne Danielle gets the credit though on IMDb. It mustn't be him then. Mustn't be him. Oh, it is Bob Simmons. Sorry, there's a fella later on in the film, and I'm watching it thinking, is that Bob Simmons? You know, the stuntman, the James Bond stuntman. And it is. No, mustn't be Jim Broadbent. I think he does look like him though. He's in Superman 4, isn't he, Jim Broadbent? You know, very young Jim Broadbent. Anyway, where were we? Quest says they might mature and Rachel Zegler will be in the blockbuster. Dead funny, his Quest. He happens to have a Mills bomb in his pocket. I have no idea what that means. Quest is going to be telling us all about the guns that they're using and the aeroplanes that we see and all that stuff. Justice says, if I remember correctly, there was talk of casting Sean Connery in this movie, but it didn't happen. It would have been great in this. Yeah. Well, I don't remember him saying that in the commentary, but maybe it's true. I don't know. Another one, Joseph Cotton. You know, that old actor, Joseph Cotton, had to play Matheson, but he didn't want to do it in the end. Right, where were we? They've blown that up. I'm sure that's Jim Broadbent. I'm trying to see if I get a good look at his face. No, it's nothing like him, does it? Anyway, whatever. Right, the contract's being called off. So out they come. The bad guys go, leaving the dead ones there. These gents should have waited 3 minutes. Now they're dead. So they've got to get out of there. So they go down to see Heather's been beaten up by the baddies. So he says, oh, sorry. So anyway, we'll kiss her and let's go, etc. Right. There's Patrick Allen, the man with the amazing voice. Barrett Houses and all that. Quest will know what that means. Apparently he's a government person, a G-man, who's working with Matheson. They're saying, where's he from? He's from a government department who's interested in getting Lynn Barney back as well. But he's the one that'll have the final say on if the plan is approved. Right, so he was telling them they're going to use 50 men. I forgot what it was now. 40 enlisted men, 40 soldiers essentially, and then 10 officers. Pardon me. But anyway, they was going to tell him what the plan is. They're going to parachute in from 25,000 feet and all that stuff. And they'll be in and out in 3 hours. They'll grab Lynn Barney, get to the airfield, and the plane will pick them up, and they'll be out and done, sorted. Quest says, Richard Burton appeared in the beginning of Wild Geese 2, just to turn the job down. I've never seen that. Never seen Wild Geese 2. Never seen it. But apparently is they've got, is it Edward Fox? Is it Edward Fox? I can't remember now. Playing his brother in Wild Geese 2, isn't it? But I've not seen it, so I don't know. Anyway, right, so he's telling them all the what they're going to do, and he says, cool, the plan is approved. By the way, scale model, apparently. It's not a Doc Brown one. It's not to scale, a chance to paint it. This is a scale model, which is cool. Apparently, 3 sentries. Why are there no sentries around this side? I don't know. The mountains, I don't think there is there? But there's no sentries around this side for some reason, but there's 3 there. Anyway, so they're going to use... have I missed a bit? No, sorry. I'm thinking of Hardy Kruger in this part, but he's not either. So he's telling them what they're going to do. They're going to go in, use cyanide gas on the soldiers, the baddie soldiers, and so that, and all that stuff. Right, so the plan is approved. Well done, Raver. Thank you. Oh, aye, and then the operations. Apparently, it was still able, because they weren't supposed to be leaving till after, till the middle of January. So he could still go on his holiday with Emil skiing in Switzerland. But the operation's been moved forward 3 weeks. Oh no, it's a Christmas movie. It is. All the action happens on Christmas Day. So he's not going to be able to go on holiday with his son now. And look at hair. Maybe it's the one that came out of my mouth. Right, so here's the breakdown of the expenses. Open-ended checking account. By the way, the subtitles on this, bloody terrible. No subtitles on the DVD, which were annoying. Anyway. Right, so £100,000 for Alan, £50,000 for Rafer, £30,000 for each of the officers. That's Roger Moore and Hardy Kruger get 30,000. And it's a 10,000 for the NCOs. So that's the sergeants and Jack Watson and Whitty, who we'll meet in a bit. You're right. Edward Fox was Alex Faulkner. Yes, Edward Fox. Rah! That's my impression of Edward Fox. Anyway, where were we? Right, so there we go. Which is apparently £720,000 in total, and then there's all the expenses as well. I saw somewhere that they worked it out. It'd be like $15 million or something these days. It'd work out this operation, but anyway. Right, so he's apologising. I'm sorry. There'll be other holidays, but anyway. Right now, Alan's got to go and talk to Sandy Young. Regimental Sergeant Major Sandy Young, played by Jack Watson, is, how are you, Sandy? Oh, yes, sir, it's a pleasure to see you. Yep. Oh, giving it all that. Great character. And inviting him in, says, I don't think so. Is your wife home? Yes. She'll be pleased to see you. I don't think so. Because obviously, Alan doesn't get on with Sandy's wife. But, by the way, Jack Watson, wasn't really keen on taking the part because he thought he was too old. He was 61 when he made this, and he thought he was too old. But I think that's the point, isn't it? He's supposed to be an old soldier, isn't he? He's going to train the men up and all that. But anyway, really good part he plays. And anyway, we'll see what happens to him later. Anyway, there we go. Oh, yes, you're not welcome here, Mr. Falconer. Anyway, so he's got his sergeant major, and here's Sean meeting what's his? I forgot his bloody name now. Peter Coetzee, who's South African. So he's recruiting him. So it's his chance to get back to South Africa. Right, so here we are. Now they're doing the interviews where we're going to meet the main part of the ensemble. There's some of most of them. There's 40, people in there, men in their squad, but we don't know most of them. But a few of them, we get to know, like him. There you go, Donaldson's there. Apparently, I think it's him. He was an actual mercenary or something. I'm sure it said him. I've seen it somewhere. I can't remember where I've seen it, and I've not highlighted it. Oh, never mind. But one of them was actually a mercenary at one point. I think it was him, but I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, here's John Carney, who plays Sergeant. Somebody or other. I forgot his name. I'm terrible, aren't I? I'm a bad person. Sergeant Jesse Link. Who play again? Really, they're all good soldiers that he's hiring. Anyway, so there we go. And that they've all worked with each other before. Probably overthrown dictators all around the world and stuff like that, I imagine. Because Alan Faulkner's based loosely on Colonel Mike Hoare, Mad Mike Hoare. You remember he was in the news, wasn't he, in the early 80s? Who was an actual mercenary. Didn't he have some dealings with... Was it Prince Philip? Or I'm thinking... No, not Prince Philip. Probably did. Somebody in the Tory government in the 80s had some dealings with Mike Hoare. I can't remember who it was. Was it Prince Andrew? I can't remember now. It was either one of the royal family or a government minister. And something went down in Africa. Bit like in this film. But it all went tits up. Anyway, right. So, who else we're meeting? This jock, played by... what am I like with bloody names? Oh dear. Ronald Fraser, there we go, Ronald Fraser, who apparently were very drunk. Mark Thatcher, thank you, Gavin, yes. I knew it was something to do with the government. Yes, it was Mark Thatcher, wasn't it? Yes, Margaret Thatcher's son, yes, that's the fella. I don't remember the details, I just remember it being in the news. Anyway, where were we? Thank you, Gavin. Where were we? Ronald Fraser. Apparently, were very drunk when he got the job for this film, and Roger Moore described it in the commentary as that they poured him into a plane, and then poured him out of the plane, and poured him into a hotel because he was drunk all the time. And he said, Ronald Fraser said, if he carries on, I'm going to die. And Roger Moore says, and he's just stopped drinking, and he never drank again after that. So there we go. So this film saved his life. Was it his laptop? That they had laptops back then, Win Grace? It's always the son's laptop. More like a lap dancer back in them days. Anyway. So there's Jock. Apparently he's a bit of a pugilist. Been hit a few times. Yes, sir. The hitters are mostly still hearing bells. Here's Whitty, who is the medic. There you go, Arthur Whitty, medical orderly, who is overtly gay. But they all love him. They don't care. They don't care that he's gay. He's they take the mickey out of him, but they know he's a good medic and a good soldier, and he gets on with the job. But he's the comedy gay man of the film. But anyway, right. So who's now? Have I got time to get a divorce? Yes. I can't wait to see his face. Ho 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 ho. Where were we? Quest says that all happens in America. In the UK, it's usually a secure. Yes, it is. Yes. It would have been his ZX81. Yes, back then. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look that up now for the details. Yes, bear with me. We're live. I don't care. Now then. Where are we? Let's have a look on Wikipedia. Rum-ti-tum. There we go. Is that odd? Oh no, that's not that. That was in 2004. In 2005, he was convicted and given a 4-year suspended prison sentence and fined in South Africa for funding the 2004 Equatorial Guinea coup attempt. I was thinking of something way back when. He went missing during the Paris-Dakar rally in 1982. Maybe we're off doing other things. Oh no, I wasn't thinking of that. I wasn't thinking that close, like 20 years ago. I was thinking of something in the 80s. It's probably that. I probably just got all my timing all mixed up because I'm old. Anyway. Where were we? Right, so... who else? All right, now Rafe has got to go to his son's school. And we've got to imagine that this bloody little slip of a kid can play rugby. But anyway, here he is. He's got some Christmas presents under his arm and he pops them down. Look, little shit. Look. Oh, I've got the ball. Look, look. Don't get him. You might break him. Oh, look, I got it. Oh. Well played, Emil. And they're all thinking, we'll just let him win. His dad's a mercenary. He might kill us. Oh dear. Well, Justin says that guy on screen was in The Prisoner as the president. I never could get into The Prisoner. The Patrick McGowan series. I know people love it and stuff, but I could never get into it. Anyway, here he is. So he's got to tell him that they can't go on their holiday, and he's got to spend Christmas with the headmaster's family. So he's upset, and I did get a little bit choked up watching this bit because I don't know, because I'm a soft bugger. Kid's just set up the emotion. Yes, pretty much. Yes, he is. Never mind the rugby team in the background. Yeah, no. We're just having a kick around at half time. God, it's dead annoying. Anyway, so he goes, I love you, and as he's running away, it sets me off.
I love you too.
Bless him. Right, so we're in South Africa now with Swaziland, which is actually where it was filmed. They said, we're going to train in Swaziland, which they did. So here they come. Here comes Sergeant Sandy, giving his drilling the men. There's the officers up front and the men behind, telling them, giving them the old Sergeant Major pep talk. I'm going to make your life a living hell, and all that stuff. Just says, yes, a classic, the first TV masterpiece. I like the Quatermass stuff, me. I think they're masterpieces, particularly Quatermass and the Pit, the TV version. But anyway, I could never get into The Prisoner, which is a shame. I hate it when I want to like stuff, but I don't, and it annoys me because I want to like, But anyway, a bit like I didn't get very far into that new Predator thing, Predator Killer of Killers. Didn't get very far into that either. The animation style did me head in, so that's something I wanted to like. Anyway, I tear up at that part too, yes. Anyway, there we go. If a man steps out of line, I will kill him stone dead. Anyway, so there we go. So we're going to go running now. The first bit of PT. Off they go. 20 paces at a sprint. Flat, fall flat on your bellies. Get up, do it all again. So off they go. Double march. There they go. And apparently Richard Burton struggled with a lot of the physical stuff because he was in a lot of pain, a lot of back pain and stuff like that. And I think shortly after this, he went to hospital or something. They did a scan or whatever, and they found he had crystallised alcohol around his spinal cord. What? Is that possible? It's Richard Burton. Anything's possible. Anyway. Right, where were we? Right, so they're doing all this and having fun. And they move it, you dowsy lot. Says, hang on, somebody falls over. Says, Lieutenant Finn, if you do not get up, I will kick your head in. There's shouting at, where is it? If I can find it. Whatever, it's there somewhere. Subtitles say different things to what they actually say in this film, by the way. I don't know who did the subtitles with this file, but bloody terrible. Anyway, there's telling Whitty to get up, calls him the F word. But anyway. Here's Captain Rayford Janders. Tells him to get up. We'll string you up by the balls! Because he's training him, so he's allowed to talk to the officers like that. And then this poor fella, don't know who he is, says, I can't get up, I'm dead. So then he shoots a hole in the ground next to him. Hang on, where is it? There we go. Did he actually shoot a bullet into the ground there, or a special effect? Don't know. Anyway. Hey, Gavin says, the prisoner was great. I've been to the village in Portmeirion. I went once with my son, and it was shut. There was a big sign up saying closed. I thought, how could it's a village? I thought people lived there. But anyway, maybe I just went to the wrong part of it. I don't know. My sister-in-law lives about 20 minutes drive away. Quest says, a proper regimental sergeant major. In the 90s, they were told not to shout abuse. Apparently, they thought it hurt people's feelings. That's why we haven't got the greatest military in the world anymore. Oh dear. I have my map of the village. It's only the small version. So I went and there was a sign up saying closed. Maybe we're off season. I don't know. But anyway. Anywho. Right. So here we go. They're all tired out. But they've still got work to do. That's where we learn that Peter is going to get them in. There we go. And he's going to use a crossbow with hardwood quarrels and vials of cyanide. Deadly from 300 yards, and from 120 yards will go right through a man and all that stuff. So he'll take care of the sentries because they've got to be silent. Anyway, so blah blah blah. They're talking about, because he's from South Africa and all that, and saying then he doesn't care about the cause and stuff, but whatever. Anyway, being all political, but because he's got his political ideals, because he's from South Africa and all that, and blah blah blah. But he gets his mind changed by Limbarney later on. Right, they're practicing their parachute jumps. Recognise this fella? He's in Return of the Jedi. He's the Imperial officer who says, inform the commander that Lord Vader's shuttle has arrived. That's him. I don't know his name. I will tell you in a minute. Esposito. Glyn Baker, the name of the actor. This character's called Esposito. Anywho, Barnett will tell you. Quest will tell us that every gun we see, it'll tell us what it is. And Justin has a map as well. I haven't got a map because I didn't like the series because I'm a miserable bugger. But I did like Patrick McGowan in Ice Station Zebra, whatever you want to pronounce it. And Scanners. We're good in Scanners. And Braveheart. I liked him in them as well. I like Patrick McGowan as an actor. I just didn't like The Prisoner. Anyway, where were we? Oh, like this. Practicing their parachute jumps. There we go. I was going to tell off. That was ludicrous, sir. Do it again. It's not a whorehouse window. Do it again. Right, so doing more practicing. Whee! All fun and games. Right, so a fella arrives in I think, is that a Datsun 120Y? I don't know, it could be. Probably is. I used to have one of them, an estate version. Great little car. Bit of a rust bucket, but a great little car. Fella's arrived with a message. We've learned something about Limbarney. I don't know. They're going in tonight, tomorrow night. I mean, Christmas Day. Because apparently it's Christmas Eve now. They're going in Christmas Day. They've got to do their mission. They said it's Christmas. We'll celebrate on the 26th. So Christmas movie. It's going to have to be added to my list. I didn't realise it was. I've seen it loads of times. It's never sunk in that it happens on Christmas. It's because there's no snow. Right, so they've got to go in tomorrow, and so they're going to send the lads out into town for one last night out. And if they're not back by 4 o'clock, they're out of there. They're going to see to the men make their wills and all that. And anyway, time to talk to Sandy to thank him for his work. You know, he's going to send him off. You've done your job, you've earned your money twice over. Thank you and all that. And Sandy says, if you think I'm leaving now, you've got another thing coming and all that. I love the men I train, and if you want a revolution, just try and stop me. So there we go. You stick the money up your ass. So there we go. So Sandy's not going home. Meanwhile, they're all writing out their wills. They're calling Witty Queenie, look, 'cause, it were the 70s, you were allowed to. Anyway, where were we? Ice Stations, it was great, yes. We're in Colombo as well, I don't know. I've seen a lot of the Colombos, but I don't remember seeing him in one. But there's a lot of them, isn't there? So, I'm a very merry man. I protest, I am not a merry man. Anyway, is that... It looks like a woman, that, doesn't it? From that angle, because the boots hiding. It must be a fella. It can't be a woman, can it? Can it? Have they got women mercenaries? Is it diverse? I don't know. Looks like a woman, that. Anyway, so he's leaving his money to a proctologist. Oh, I've done that again. Bloody hell. Of course, it's funny. Right, they're off into town. Sergeant going. He's having his dinner. And Witty's not going either. Come on, Queen, we'll find you a lovely bit of tail. No thanks, dear. You enjoy yourselves. Because it's just amusing.
Enjoy yourselves. I'll be waiting up for you with bandages and penicillin.
I'm sorry. I know it's not politically correct, but it's fun. Anyway, right. So now, Rafer and Alan are going to have a little chat about life and death. And Rafer says to Alan, I want you to promise me that you'll make sure that Emil's looked after. If anything happens to him, make sure he's made Alan Emil's godfather. Make sure he's all right. So if his mother can't look after him properly, step in and look after him. Say, but I'm just a drunk. And all that, with alcohol crystallising around my spine, apparently. But you're not going to die, friend. Anyway, so they check on it. Little does he know, he is going to have to, man up on that deal. Right, so they're heading into the plane. Here it is. Sorry, I'm going to get a picture of it so that, there we are. What, go on, is it... Yeah, Hercules. I think they describe it as a Hercules earlier on in the film. Is it? I don't know. Quest. It looks like they all look the same to me. All planes. So they're piling in, and off they go, heading up into the stratosphere. Oh, it's a Lockheed. It says there. Anyway, whatever. I have no idea. Meanwhile, in London, things are happening. There's people coming and meeting with Matheson. Oh, what could be happening there? There's going to be a double cross. Gabby says, oh, yes, it's a Hercules. I don't know. I only said that because they said it earlier on in the film. There's Peter sorting out his crossbow. We saw Pete also giving Sergeant Jesse a cold stare because he's South African. Blah blah blah. Anyway, so they're getting ready. Approaching the drop zone. So here they go, checking their gear, etc. Cool. They actually did a proper stunt. They got all the fellas in to jump out of the planes. Not CG. And it was filmed. The exterior of them actually jumping out of the plane. We'll get to that in a minute. There we go. There we go. That were filmed by John Glenn, as I did the second unit. Oh, excuse me. He was in an aeroplane. Oh, crikey. He was in an aeroplane with them. They weren't at 25,000 feet. I think he said they were about 11,000 feet, something like that. And he was filming from another plane, and he said every time he was trying to get a shot before the actual action, the wing of the plane that he were on kept getting into the shot, and he kept saying to the pilot, "Can you just bank a bit?" And he'd given the fella on the plane that were in charge of the stunt, the stunt master, I don't know, whatever. He'd give him a newspaper, a copy of the Times, because it was the biggest newspaper ever, in terms of broadsheets. And he'd said to him, because they communicate by radio, but before they took off, he said, "We're always having problems with radios in stunts like this. So if I can't hear you over the radio and you're ready to jump, throw the newspaper out first, and when I see that, I'll know to start turning the camera." So, and luckily he did that, because we couldn't hear him on the radio, and he saw the newspaper come flying out the back. And he knew they were all about to jump out, so he started turning the camera. Just as he started filming, the wing of the plane dipped out a shot, and they got it. They got the shot of them all jumping out of the plane. Cool. Quest says, actually, it's a Lockheed L100, but it does sound the side, which is technically the civilian version of the C-130 Hercules. There we go. So here they are, jumping out of the plane. There they are. Gliding down and doing the old parachute stuff and landing, probably all landing wrong, but whatever. And broken limbs and stuff, ankles. Anyway, so they've arrived. They must all land in exactly the same place. They're not all scattered about. They must all be super ace at parachuting. So off they go. Oh, look, they've got the cyanide there for the bad guys. Right, so, by the way, it's obviously a day for night shot. You can tell it's blazing sunshine. Apparently really, really hot. I don't know when it was filmed. Does it say? Does it say here? Filming dates. October it was filmed. So that's, I don't know, it's not, but it's Africa, isn't it? It's hot all year round, isn't it? But it's in the southern hemisphere, so yeah, springish, isn't it? Is it spring? I'm trying to remember, because they're opposite their seasons, aren't they, in the southern thingy? Anyway, they also use the custom L1A1 SLR carbine. I think that's how it appeared in the movie. Okay, is that a gun? I don't know. Anyway, so here we go. Right, so they're all smiling. I don't know what they're smiling for, can't remember. But they're all having fun, smiling. Don't know why, but they're all going to die. Here they've arrived at the camp. And it's time for Peter to take out the sentries. What are we doing? We're looking at the sentries, aren't we? There we go. 2 of them are asleep. Not very good sentries. So it says, take the one that's awake out first, and then the other 2. So here he is with his crossbow. Who do you think you are, William Tell? Oh, that's my impression of Roger Moore. So they takes 2 of them out. One of them rolls out, wakes up the other. In a minute. Look, he notices. Hang on, take that one out. Hang on, where are we? No, he's got to run out now and get the other one. Oh, no, he did. He had to run out and get the one that were left. Whatever. Right, so they got rid of the sentries, so they're now cutting through the fence. There they go, through the fence. And then the other squad come. Here we go. working their way around. Got to deal with this guard. Jesse takes care of him. Just make sure we're still going. Yes, we are. Did it. Just checking, make sure we're still going. Right, so he takes him, stabs him right in the chest. Would that be what you do? I don't know. I'm not a hand-to-hand combat person. I don't know. Wouldn't be able to get him in the throat or something so he can't call out. He does cover his mouth. I don't know. I'm guessing they've been trained. Should have asked Christopher Lee what to do. He knows about killing people, doesn't he? Anyway, so they're taking him out, taking the guard room. Bad guys. Now then, there we go. I was watching it. I think is he supposed to be Cuban or something like that? But I think in the credits there's something listed as an East German guard, so they're supposed to be East German. Does it say here? Hang on. No, it don't say it on IMDb. But in the credits in the film itself, it says East German guard. No, don't say it on IMDb. So are the East German, advisors? I don't know. But I thought they were Cuban because of the hat. But anyway, and the cigar. But anyway, maybe they're both. Here they are using the cyanide on the sleeping men. There we go, cyanide. Luckily, none of them wake up and go and raise the alarm. They just all die instantly. So, in the come. I'll be, excuse me, chaps, and all that. Don't have to shoot him yet. They want to get the keys, to get Limbaugh. Oh, he's Cuban. All right, try the Cuban. Right. Why does it say at the end, East German guard then? Because we don't go to East Germany. I don't think we do. Anyway. Yes, goes for his gun. They've got the keys. They're going to get Limbarney out. But obviously somebody goes for the gun. There we go. So they kill them all. Like that. This fella just falls over and all the bullets go around him and apparently he's dead. I don't know. But look, he just falls over there. It looks fine to me, but then we just cut away. We never saw what happened to him. I'm guessing he got him. Actually, they will put it in from behind, between the ribs, puncturing the lungs and heart. I don't want to meet Quest on a dark night in an alley. He knows how to kill people. In Minecraft. Anyway, right. Here we go. Got him, look. Right, there's Limbarney. This guard is the worst shot in the world. Hang on, when we get to it. Here we go. This guard who's guarding Limbarney obviously knows, there's people coming to free him, so I'll shoot Limbarney and miss. Limbarney got a good lie like that. But anyway, so luckily, take out that guard and various other guards, get Limbarney out. Whitty gives him some pills, got some nice pills from London for your heart. Have a drink of this. So, right. Off they go. They got him. They head him out. They're stealing some trucks as well while they're at it. So they've just wiped out that entire garrison. And by the way, we've also learned that we'd learned the night before that Endofo's on his way, the leader of the country, with a battalion of his Simbas, which are apparently amazing soldiers. But there we go. So they want to avoid them, but they're on the way. I watched a lot of documentaries when I was younger. That's how Quest knows how to, infiltrate places quietly, taking out guards along the way. Right, where were we? Then to Zembala Airport. While all that were going on, by the way, Roger Moore, Sean Finn and his gang, Sandy and all them, they've got to take control of the airport. So that's what they're doing here. This poor fella's going to go for a wee and then get killed for his trouble. Maybe he's East German. Maybe he's the East German fella. I don't know. But anyway, he gets killed and he kills another one. And in the come, I'm going to just take it. So it's something like 3 miles away. But luckily, this is happening after they've taken out the other area, because you'd hear all the gunshots, wouldn't you? But anyway, I'm same. Anyway, here I'm going to take all. Oh, I throws a grenade in. Here it is. Chucks in a pineapple. Boom! And they go in and shoot all the others. Well, they take out the. Is he the East German? I don't know, but take him out. Or maybe he's Cuban as well. I've no idea. Take him out. And they've got control of the airport. Now he's on the radio to the C-130 again. But, as we see, back in that London, hang on, where are we? I've missed it. I've gone too far, haven't I? There we go. Not Falconer. Matheson has signed a deal with somebody from Zembala, Ndofo's minister or ambassador or whatever. They've signed a deal, and now, what's his face? Patrick Allen. What's the name of his character? I have no idea. Patrick Allen. Where are you? Bloody hell, where are you? Where the hell is Patrick? There we go. Rushton. Should have remembered that, shouldn't I? Not Willie Rushton. So he signed a deal. So Rushton's going to basically cancel the mission. So he says, gets on the phone now. Go put Charlie 1 into effect immediately. Got a great voice, by the way. I love Patrick Allen's voice. They were always used in voiceovers.
This is Rushton. Put Charlie 1 into effect immediately.
Great voice. You may know him, if you've not seen him in anything, you may know him from Two Tribes, the Frankie Goes to Hollywood record. He did the voice of the instructions for Protect and Survive and all that stuff, you know. If your grandmother should die, you know, after a nuclear attack. Anyway. Right, so they're going to get double-crossed now. Here they are. They get ready to get on the plane. They think, yeah, 30,000 quid. And the officers, well, Roger Moore say, 30,000 quid in my pocket. Iron Man, wild goose. It sounds like a tin man with a finger up his ass or something. There we go. A finger up a tin man's backside. But anyway, here comes the plane. And it does land. It comes in any minute. There it goes. Here it comes. I used to think the African soldiers wore World War II para camo smocks. I have no idea. Maybe they are. I don't know. Anyway, there we go. Here comes the plane. It lands, and then it turns around, but then they get the order to pass them by. I said, oh, no. And they just do. And I always thought, why they just they're there, just pick them up, and we didn't get the message. Go, and they just say, poor buggers, and off they go. What's going on? And basically, you're on your own, lads. And so there we go. So they've been double-crossed, so now they've got to find another way out. They go, we have been double-crossed. So they've got to go back to Rayford Janders to work a way out for them. And Rafer says, well, they've got to go to, is it Limpopo or somewhere like that? I can't remember where it was. Oh, I can't remember. But they've got to go somewhere where Limbani were born, and his village is not that far where he were born, and basically said, look, he's alive, and everybody will start a civil war and all that stuff. So, but, it's the only thing we can do. We can't go such a direction because that's the wrong way to go, and the Simbas are coming, etc. So there's only one. Kalima, that's why does a Limpopo? I think it was filmed in Limpopo. Oh, yes, it was. That's where I get that name from. It was filmed. Parts of it were filmed in Limpopo. I don't know which parts. Where else? Yeah, whatever. So they're going to take him there, and obviously he's not happy at first. Says, "Look, we're not here to start a civil war." Says, "Well, it might be our only way out of here." But anyway, so there he's been all slimy and sending them away and all that. So they've got confirmation. He's got his. Oh, by the way, he were doing it for copper. They own copper mines in Zembala. So, they were thinking if they got Limbani out, they'd have more chance of getting the copper rights to the mines and all stuff. But they've done it anyway. So now they don't need Limbani now. So they're all drinking champagne and all that stuff. But anyway, right, so they're heading to, Kalima now, over this stone bridge. It looks more concrete to me, but they said an old stone bridge. It looks like an old stone bridge. But anyway, here they come. Don't know why they just don't bomb across it, but they've not been really careful. Like, okay, let's go. So, and then obviously one of the trucks breaks down. There it is. Breaks down. And, I can't get it started. But then a plane comes. Quest will tell us what sort of plane this is. Here it comes. Any minute now. There it is. I'm guessing this is the Zembala Air Force. I'm guessing. I'm going to say it's a Spanish something or other. I don't know. There it goes, flies over. Machine guns them, kills. They lose loads of men here, by the way. They lose loads of men. And it comes round again, shoots them again. They're not doing a very good job of shooting it down. But anyway, they're trying to drag men out of the way. But then it's got a there we go. It's got a whatchamacallit. Oh, they call it now. Napalm canister or whatever it is. There we go. So it does all that, blows one of the trucks up, and we see soldiers burning, and we see a body burning in the truck, which the British censor wanted it removed. I think the original theatrical version in the UK. There we go. That bit wasn't in where they're showing up because they said it was too horrific, but it's back in now. So anyway, when the other truck's gone up as well. They've lost loads of men. I don't know how many. They don't give us a head count. I don't think they lost that many. Hang on. I think they lost about 10 men or 14 men or something like that. See, of course I know. So, is it a Cessna 310D? Right, fair enough. It mustn't be the only plane in the Zembala Air Force. They'll be back with more planes. But anyway, apparently now, they can't get across the bridge. Alan tells Rafa to move on to Kalima, just get there, and we'll catch up. Obviously, it's a dry riverbed, but I don't know. They mustn't be able to just get across. They said, we'll cross somewhere else and catch up. Can't they just cross there? Can't they just drive? It's not like a sheer cliff, is it? I mean, it doesn't look. Let's go back a bit. We can see the lay of the land. Can't they just drive across it? It's not a river, is it? It's a dry riverbed. But anyway, obviously they can't. They've got to go the long way round. So that's what they're going to do. Meanwhile, they've got soldiers that are injured. They can't leave. They can't take them because they're going to die. And they can't leave them, for the Simbas because the Simbas chop people up or something. But Alan has to put them out of the misery. So that's what they're all looking shocked for there. Anyway, so off they go. Oh, there he's doing that. Right, so they're heading to Kalima. Here comes another plane. Different one this time. Probably looking for them. And now they're on foot because the jeep's broken down or whatever, so they've got to walk. And Hardy Kruger, Peter's going to carry. There he's going to carry Limbani. Is that right? Whatever. And then he calls him the K word. Right, so was that plane again? Just saw it there. Meow. It's the same one, isn't it? Right, so they're having a breather. I'd have a little chat here now about, politics and stuff like that, and how Limbani's saying Africa is for, everybody, not just the whites and the blacks. It's for everybody, and we've got to stop fighting each other. And he says, fair enough, I believe you. And he stops calling him, actually doesn't he, just call him the K word again, but not as often. You can see he's starting to believe in Limbani. Anyway, right, baobab trees. There we go. Apparently this tree is over 10,000 years old, apparently. I don't know if that's true or not, but anyway. I wonder if it's still there. Probably. So anyway, they're having a breather. They're talking again. Apparently went on for quite a while. I think it was this where there was this chat they were having. Went on for quite a while. And they had to edit it down. Because it just went on too long, talking politics. But there we go, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, at least saying, that the whites were born here as well, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, got to have a better chance together, etc. Said, oh, you're making sense. Come on, bloke, he says. He says it here. There we go. Hang on, where are we? There we go. Hang on tight, bloke. Oh dear. Right, so Rafer and his squad have arrived at Kalima. Oh, and they accidentally shoot a pig. And this is where Frank Finlay comes bursting out. Here he is. Hang on, there he is. Get out of my village, you heathens, in his Irish accent. You godless heathens. I love Frank Finlay, he's dead good. I know him from, I don't know, he's been in loads of stuff, hasn't he? He was in Life Force. I'm blanking of other things. He was in Bouquet of Barbed Wire. Remember that series? Remember that when I was a kid? But a series I was never allowed to watch as a kid. I think I saw a couple of episodes sneakily. Because it was for grown-ups. Anyway. Apparently Rafer knows him. His father, Gogan or something. Just... In the credits, just called The Priest, but it says he's a Father Gogan or something. Does it say? I'm looking for Frank Finlay. Where is he? Where's Frank Finlay? Yeah, Father. It's spelt. It's Irish, isn't it? So it obviously sounds nothing like it's spelt. Father Gogan, but it's Geog Hagen, Gogan, whatever. I hate the sight of you. I want you out of my village. By the way, remember it's Christmas Day, by the way, so they'll probably have having a nice Christmas service in the church or something, but they've come and put the mockers on that for them, haven't they? Right, so they've stopped by this river. They're having a breather. Whitty's having a breather. For some reason, he's miles away from everybody else. Don't know why. They're down by the river. He's up here having a little drink. But then all these Simbas are sneaking around in the bush. There we go. And he sees them. Look, well, there. Look, I see one. So he starts shooting. There we go. It says, "Get your asses out of here. Whitty's holding the fort." So this is going to be the end of Whitty, by the way. So he's taking all them out, and Peter's helping him, and there we go. But he's run out of bullets now, as Whitty, so he's got to get his knife out. And he says, "Ooh." There's a line here. Hang on.
Just look at you, big bastards.
Oh dear. Pity we can't be friends. So anyway, he takes one out, takes this big fella out, straight away. Where are we? There we go. Takes him out straight away. But there's too many of them, and they chop him up. We see poor Whitty. There we go, all bleeding, and that's the end of Whitty. Oh. Right, so they say the Simbas have caught him up now. They're on the tail. They're trying to get over the river and shooting and hand grenades going off left, right, and centre, and all that stuff. By the way, Jesse's got. I think Jesse's got. Peter picked it. I think Jesse had Limbani. Now Peter's picked him up, and they're off because he's ill. By the way, Limbani's really ill, so he can't run and do stuff. Anyway. Right, so the bad guys are in pursuit, and they keep shooting them and all that stuff. There we go. Grenades going off, etc. There we go. I think he nearly shot him. Look, went by. Anyway, right, off they go. Sandy's here with his squad to save the day. But Peter gets shot. Here he is. But he takes them all out, or most of them out. But his shot is Peter. There he is. And this is quite sad as well. This got me choking up a bit. In a manly way. He's Peter, all, come on, we can make it. But he's all bleeding out of his mouth because he's been shot 1,000,000 times. There we go. That. Like when you're sick and you've got that like thick slather. It's like that, isn't it? But with blood. So anyway, he says, come on, mate, or whatever, it's time for us to go. And but he don't do it, and he keels over and dies in a minute. There he goes. And Lim Barney goes over to him, and he don't want to let go of his hand. And I'm filling up now thinking about it. Look. Says, sorry, Mr. President, you can let go now. He's dead. Says Sandy. Does this say here now? There we go.
You can leave him now, Mr. President. He's dead.
Straight to the point, is Sandy. So, Peter's dead. So, and then the can't take him with him, so they'll just leave him there and straighten him up and put his cap on his head. But don't know what'll happen to him. I don't know. Maybe a lion will carry him off. I don't know. Anyway, is this supposed to be in Dover? They can't be. It's wrong colour, isn't it? I don't know. Is he the East German officer? I don't know. Anyway, but he's speaking whatever language they're speaking. Swahili. I don't know what they're speaking. Because he does this. Is it this bit? It's well to there, but the good Roger out. Anyway, so the bad guys are still on their trail. They've got to Kalima now, by the way, so they're safe for the moment. The elders from the village are coming to see that Limban is alive, but they're saying, there's nothing they can do. They had these thoughts about them starting a civil war and an uprising, but they said that's not going to happen. They'll just get slaughtered. So they're going to try and just get Limbani out of there. And Frank Finlay, the priest, says there's a Dakota, there's an airfield so many miles away. There's an old Dakota there, and it works, it flies, I've been in it. Take that and just get out of my village. So that's what they're going to do. Ooh. Sorry, I reached my step target. I haven't been anywhere today. It's got some waving my arms about. Anyway, so that's what they're going to do. So there you go. So Dakota, it's all right. I've flown in it. It's an Irish accent. Anyway, take Limbani and leave us in peace. That's what they're going to do. Limbani's told them, don't fight for me and all that. Anyway, so there we go. There it is. They sent Sean and some of the soldiers with the priest to get the Dakota. And here's Bob Simmons, stuntman, James Bond stuntman. There he is. They just knock him out. I don't know why they picked him. It's not really a stunt. They just knock him out. Well, Jock does. It was Bob Simmons that you saw in the first three, I think. The first three James Bond films up to Goldfinger. It was Bob Simmons doing the gun barrel. That whenever Sean Connery. Up until I think Thunderball. Then it was Sean Connery. But up until Dr. No, from Russia with Love and Goldfinger, it was Bob Simmons in the gun barrel, shooting the gun. Anyway, whatever. Right, so they've got the plane, and they're heading away with their wounded and stuff, heading for the airfield. The Simbas are chasing them. There we go, they're all, so it's going to be basically a gunfight all the way. Anyway, so the priest is going to head back to the village. He says, good luck, you godless murderers. That's one of the most moving benedictions I've ever heard. Anyway, so off they go. More gunfights going on, shooting and all that stuff and running, and more people dying. He's going to die. He's Glyn Baker in a minute. But anyway, they're firing rocket launchers and all sorts. It's all kicking off. Look, they're all coming at the bad guys. Because they just come running out all together so we can mow them down. It's not a Dakota, though. That's the USA 47 Skytrain. Okay. You can take that up with Frank Finlay. He says it's a Dakota. Anyway. So they're shooting away. Mowing down wave after wave of Simbas. Nothing to do with the Lion King. There they are. Obviously, lots of them, lots of our heroes are dying as well. Can you call them heroes? Would be mercenaries. Lots of the good guys are dying as well. They're dropping like flies, but taking the bad guys out with them. There they are, etc. Who's got shot then? Oh, look, he got shot, didn't he? Ooh, yeah, he got shot. Whoever he was. Right, so they've got to making a run for the plane now. Here they go. Sean's getting the plane started. Here they are shooting again. There they are. So here they come. Here comes the plane. More soldiers dropping like flies. They only end up, by the time they're on the plane, there's only like 12 of them left, something like that. So here they come. Come on, Rafer, come on. So here they come. Poor Rafer. Hang on, I've missed it. Where are we? Yep, poor Rafer's there, and he gets shot. Oh no, hang on, Rafer, but he can't, and he drops him, and then the Simbas are coming, saying, Alan, shoot me. It's his Quest's favourite bit of the film. Shoot me, Alan, for God's sake, shoot me. So he does. So I can't, but he does. So Alan is forced to kill Rafer because the Simbas would, I don't know, chop him, like they did with Whitty, get him with the hatchets, not hatchets, what they call them? Them big knives. Anyway, right, so the take off, they get away, off they go. Sean's got shot in the leg because a bullet went through the fuselage. I've shot you. So they've got away, but there's only, I think they said there's 13 on board, that's including Lynn Barney. So there's only 12 of them left out of 50. Anyway. Sean had killed Rafer, the Simba would have chopped into small pieces. Anyway. Right. So, he's being shot as well as Lynn Barney. He's got a bullet wound in him. So he's dying. Anyway, they've got the heading south. Machete, yes, that's the word. Why couldn't I not think of that word? Yes, thank you. Just a machete. Oh dear. They're heading south for Rhodesia, as it was then. It became Zimbabwe in 1979, I think. I think it was Zimbabwe, wasn't it? 1979. When it gained independence from Great Britain. So they're heading for Rhodesia, but they won't let them in. They won't let, they're saying, do not land, we'll, shoot you down, all that stuff. So we've got President Lynn Barney on board. So that, they prove that they've got Lynn Barney. Says something. Say this to them, and they'll prove that I am on the plane. There's a secret meeting in 1960, and I was there, and somebody else was there, and etc. So he does that, and then they say, "Okay, you can land at Kariba." And they'll turn on the lights, and by turning on the lights, it means they're just going to set loads of fires. But anyway. Quest says, at least it wasn't a kukri. Yes, that had a Gurkha knife. Right, so, and then Lynn Barney dies. There we go, he says that. Present at the meeting were the following, and then they get permission. And then Lynn Barney dies, and then they lose an engine. So that's why the plane's at an angle. But they get there eventually. There we go, Lynn Barney dies. Lynn Barney's dead. They're turning the lights on at the airport. There it is, look. So, anyway, so they land, and everything's lovely, and there we go. And now they've got to get patched up, and then So Limban. All right. This bit ends. Dun, dun, I will be revenged. Friday Night Appointment with Fear. He's going to get his vengeance, isn't he? Because see in his eyes. Cut to London. Apparently it's 3 months later now. 3 months later. Again, I think he's been whining and dining the Zambala ambassador or whatever. So he's saying good night to him, along with Bolfer. Pity we don't see what happens to Barry Foster's character. Because obviously we're in on it, because he was there sipping champagne with them before. And it'd be nice to see him get some revenge on him, but we don't see what happens to him. Or Patrick Allen's character, but anyway, never mind. So here he is, says good night to his servants. Will there be anything else, sir? No, good night. So off they go. So he goes in, going to play a little bit of chess, but in comes Alan. There we go. In his Columbo shirt, jacket, coat, whatever. So he says, I've come to kill you, basically, but first I want your money. So anyway, apparently, but he's got a... Matheson's got a contract out on Faulkner, and Alan says, when I get the chance, I'm going to grow a moustache and wear dark glasses. But anyway, there we go. 11 of them are left now. 11 men are still alive, and he says, you owe me a lot of money, because he's got to pay their widows and children, their families and stuff like that. So they're going to go into his office and going to go into his safe, and apparently there's £750,000 there, which apparently says it's about there's £500,000. That's about half of what he owes him. So obviously I don't know. He's not going to pay him obviously everything, is he? But he says, if you spare me life, I'll get you the rest of the money. But don't kill me. He says, sorry, I'm going to kill you. So that's what I'm going to do, because you're a monster and you deserve to die. And he says, oh, well, then you'll just have to shoot me then. I suppose I better had. And then he goes, oh, no, wait a minute. But he shoots him. Down he goes. That's the end of Sir Edward Matheson. And out he comes. He goes back out through the window. Obviously, he didn't go out through the front door. He said he had, he tripped the burglar alarms and all stuff. So, I guess probably Sean Finn told him how to break into places. But anyway, so there we see that Sean's still okay, and off they go in his car, whatever it was. I bet Quest knows what car it is, but whatever it was, I don't know. Right, so here comes back playing rugby again, but he's not playing rugby this time because there's a little squirt in it, basically. He'd get killed. But here he is. Throw the ball back, Emile. So I say, let's talk about your father. There you go. And he smiles, and off they go. And that's the end of the film, The Wild Geese. There we go. We get a little thing. Paul Spurrier, as I said, he went on to do he was the first non-Thai director to direct a Thai language horror film. Apparently, a film called P, which I've not seen. Right, there you go. Look, East German officers. So, where were they? Were they? I don't know who they were. The East German officers. And the Cuban officer. I'm guessing the East German ones were the ones with the peak caps on. Like the fella at the airport and the man, the bigger one. I'm guessing they were the East German ones. I don't know. But anyway. The anonymous man. What? Anyway. Some say it's a Walther P38 he uses there, but it's a Beretta M1934. Okay. Some say, like the Stig. Oh dear. So there we go. That's the end of the Wild Geese. A great film, a great adventure, action, war film. Loads of fun. Funny script. Great actors in it. Great oldie worldy actors. The greats of cinema: Richard Burton, Richard Harris, Roger Moore, Jack Watson, all the lot of them. Great stuff. Great stuff. But there we go, and that's the end. For some reason, telling us the photograph of Moise Tshombe seen in the main titles of this picture was taken by Carl Bray. He must have kicked up a stink and says, I want a credit. Wingray says, double feature. Do the Wild Geese 2, can't, because I've not seen it and I haven't got it. So there we go. That's the end of The Wild Geese. Great film. I will have to give Wild Geese 2 a go. I hope it's on Amazon. I'm going to check. I'm going to check now, actually, while we're here, because we're live and I don't care. Where are we? Prime Video. Let's have a look. Wild Geese. I'll just put Wild Geese and it'll show both. Oh, it is there. Oh, they are on Prime. Wild Geese 2, there. In this exciting sequel, Sir Laurence Olivier stars as the only surviving Nazi leader whose secrets could destroy the careers of several prominent political figures. 18 certificate. I shall add that to my watch list because it's free on Prime. I'll watch that. Never seen Wild Geese 2. Right. Cool. But we're not watching it tonight. Right, so we're all done and dusted. Let's say, if you haven't seen the Wild Geese, it's on YouTube. I've put a link in the description. It's on Prime, Amazon Prime. You know, just get it watched. It's great fun. It's great fun. Or get it on Blu-ray or DVD. The Blu-ray is one of them that's really expensive. That's why I got the DVD off eBay. So there we go. Right, what's coming up next? On Friday, it's Friday the 13th, is it? Yes, Friday the 13th this week, isn't it? So, we'll be doing, for Friday Night Appointment with Fear, Friday the 13th, part 3 in 3D, except it won't be in 3D. But, so that's coming up on Friday. On Wednesday, I don't think I'll have finished my season 4 of Deep Space Nine, so it'll probably be top 5 films of 1995. Do they fight the mighty ducks? I'm not. What Wild Geese? Oh, Wild Geese. Yes. Yes. What else? Next Monday. I haven't decided. Have I? I haven't done the next Monday's thingamabob, Magnificent Mondays yet. Have I got something out? There was something I was going to do and I can't remember what it was. Was it Jaws? Or is that later on in the month? I will work it out. I can't remember. Anyway, so we'll leave it there. We're done and dusted. I've got a little bit of hair stuck out there. You see? Get behind me ear. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, Grace and Justin and Quest and Gavin. Anybody else pop in? And they didn't notice because I'm a terrible person. No, I don't think so. Right. Let's do a quick check on Rumble, make sure there's nobody popped in the chat there. No, they haven't. And Twitch, no. Right, so, Justin says, yeah, it's Friday 13th, part 3, excellent. Yes, I know, it's your favourite, isn't it? That and 6, is it that what you said, 3 and 6? It's where he finally gets his mask, isn't it, part 3? So there we go. So that's something to look forward to on Friday. Right. So, yeah, done and dusted. So, we'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching. And wherever you are, look after each other. Hang on. Just as I get out of that. Yes, and 6. Yes, I thought you'd said that on Friday. Where were we? Yeah, thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, I'm sure I forgot something vitally important. But anyway, until next time, I'll say the